Comes to investing in trade and infrastructure on the African continent. Our next guest is an expert in the matter. Moustapha Sow hails from Senegal. He's also worked at some of the world's top banks. You're currently the CEO of SF Capital. Moustapha, very warm welcome to you here on France 24. 2012, let's go back to then. You're living comfortably in Canada, working at some of the best banks in the country. You decide to go back to Senegal to work in investment. Why?
Because I did not want to miss the train. I always said that in life there is three types of people: those who make things happen, those who see things happen, and those who say things happen. And I definitely wanted to be part of those who make things happen in the continent. That's why I decided in 2012 to come back to Senegal in Africa.
When it comes to investment, what do people need to bear in mind when it comes to, putting their money into African infrastructure or trade?
Well, what they need to bear in mind first is the opportunity that this continent is offering now. And a lot of are missing, basically, the train. Africa used to be perceived as the destination of the future. Now it's the destination of the present. If you look at in terms of infrastructure or even power trade, a lot of things has been achieved over the past 5 years. If I take the example of Senegal, where I'm from, since 2012, that when the new President Macky Sall, took power, a lot of great things has been happening. If you're looking at the economy, for example, from 2012 to 2008, we went from 2-3% to 7%. Last 3 years, GDP was 6 to 7%. If you're looking at even that GDP, you would realize that public investment has been driving basically that GDP growth. You take power, for example, Senegal has doubled their productions from 500 megawatt to 1,000.
So Senegal is ripe, I hear you saying.
Exactly.
Is it fully exploiting all of its capabilities, all the possibilities?
The way is still long. The way is still long in Africa. But I think one of the most important things is here that we need to bear in mind is the marketing aspect. We must value and we must understand the things happening across the continent. Yet the road is still long, but a lot of great things has been achieved. And I'm pretty sure, if everything's pulled together, we will pretty soon build the Africa we want.
I mean, for a lot of people, when they hear the word investment, it still seems almost like a foreign concept. There are people who think, well, to invest, you need a lot of money. It's not for me. What do you say to people like that?
No, I think the opportunity is the most important thing. It's the saying that, people who wants to be an entrepreneur will always find a way to invest. And if you don't want to do it, your best excuse is a lack of capital. I think people need to realize that this continent is full of opportunity. And the Africans, us, we need to make sure that we are the first one to exploit those opportunities, because if we don't do it, others will come and do it. What I'm saying in a short, just to wrap it up is Africa is presenting, it's a virgin continent. There's everything to be started. You have capitals or you don't have capitals. If you really want to start something, you will do it. And Senegal, again, as an example, the President Macky Sall launched recently a program which is promoting entrepreneurship for women and youth. And even myself, throughout my foundations, we are doing a lot of things to support youth and then women in certain cities such as Kaolack, for example.
Talk us through one of those projects, because I know that with the Moustapha Sow Foundation, you're doing a lot of work with women and Africa's youth.
This tells you a little that you can do in Africa to change a whole difference. If we, for example, when we started to launch this line of financing for women, we financed around 587 households. When we do the evaluation 3 or 4 months after, then we realize that 189 houses that couldn't join the 3 meals together are now doing it. And that we've done it with a capital, which is around $50,000. So this tells you, that the changing people's way of living is very simple in Africa. As I said, all it takes is the will.
So, Moustapha, what you're saying is a lot can be done with a little. We'd love to talk with you
Absolutely.
so much more. We have run out of time there. Moustapha Sow, you're the CEO of SF Capital. Thanks so much for your time
Thank you
today.
so much. Thanks.
All right, to our viewers who are enjoying Eye on Africa this evening, we're back in about 45 minutes' time. Do join us then.
Arctic is going to be exploited and the scale of this exploitation will only grow.
We have a beautiful planet, we need to protect it, and we can use